Yo, great. Did you see the post I put out today?
Oh, did you put a post on?
Yeah, man. It's a good one, I think.
Okay. A little modern dude, social content going on. This looks good.
Yeah.
Looks really good. Oh, we got a comment.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, come on, engagement. Let's go.
Fucking A.
Halo player 442069 says, "You two are the most ugly jamokes I've ever seen, and this podcast is trash. You both should commit suicide. It would make the world a better place." Fuck you, Halo player 442069.
Haters, my name is Mason.
My name is Grayson.
And welcome to The Modern Dude.
A podcast by dudes, for dudes, helping dudes become better dudes.
Dude! There will always be someone ready to crap all over something you've created or something that you enjoy. Today we're going to talk about shining through the shade of that hate.
Shining through the shade of that hate. Definitely something you would write.
Shining through the shade.
Shining through the shade.
Yeah, baby.
That is a Mason Walters definite.
I think that might be like Cam Newton's sign-off when he posts.
Shining through the shade?
Shine through the shade.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Good. Shout out, Cam.
Yeah.
Also, something you would say, being a Panthers fan.
My boy.
Come on, nah.
So we're talking about haters. Haterade.
Haterade. People love to drink it.
Oh,
love
God.
the taste. The tea.
Especially in this world of social media, and we are just discovering this, having been posting on this particular iteration of the podcast for 3 months or so. But we did have a podcast before. We never really had any haters.
No, not really.
Because
it wasn't really that.
We
We didn't really have anybody watching, so.
We weren't taking strong stances. It was mostly like a joking.
Yeah, it was just fun.
It was
like fun, trivial, sort of variety show type.
We're
stuff.
taking harder stances on things with this, and
we're also promoting this a lot more,
putting ourselves out there.
Yeah, we're trying
being more vulnerable.
Yeah, we're trying to actually make something that maybe has some impact to it, with a little bit of humor and things like that mixed in.
With that comes the haters.
Absolutely.
And we've had a couple of them.
Yeah, so
a couple few.
A couple few. We actually have talked about. I brought up the idea of us doing one of those reaction videos to what the negative things that some people have said.
Which I actually did do one.
Oh,
I responded to a comment just to clarify.
But that was an actual clarification. There's people that are shit on us. Shit just to say shit for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
Other than their tiny little insignificant trollish.
Yeah.
Very insecure people.
Yep.
Which we all inherently know. I mean, it's so, and I think the fact that we even have the ability to make a post about reacting to what people say about us negatively online means we're doing something right.
Yeah,
to have a hater means that you have taken time to work on something and do something and put it out so that someone can hate on it.
You've put yourself in a vulnerable position. You've put yourself out there to create something, and someone dislikes it enough to let you know about it means that you're doing something right.
That's the funniest part about haters is that they don't realize how much it actually. First of all, we have discovered that specifically on TikTok, the more engagement, the better it is for the algorithm, which means more views, which means more comments, which means more shares, which means more saves.
Bring on the hatred.
Which is great because haters thinking they're saying something that really got us actually is really improving the platform altogether, which is fucking hilarious to me.
It's boosting our views. It throws it in the algorithm more when we are engaging with the people that say shit, positive or negative.
We respond to every single thing.
Yes.
And that's not to say we have had a ton of really, really positive stuff too. A lot of people have reached out and a lot of people have said what we're doing is really great. And I
Yeah.
mean, it's
we've had good conversations. Sometimes,
great
sometimes we've had
conversations.
to clarify, and
we've swayed some things too, and got to a middle ground with a lot of people too.
we
It's been nice.
love having conversation, and we take the good with the bad, and as long as it's constructive, we'll have a real conversation.
Yeah.
But even even when it's hate, we'll go there with you because
100%.
our history, or our background is also in performance and in comedy, and like
Yeah, and that kind of humor we're not afraid to.
we don't back down from people
No.
calling us a mean name.
We don't back down from each other when we are giving each other like shit and doing like a whole
No,
big funny
iron
thing,
sharpens iron, and like people trolling, that's fine, and it's funny, and there are some people that are just out there to get a rise out of people. And the first couple ones, I definitely was kind of like, oh man, people like don't like it, and I was like feeling like defensive in a way, and then I was like, this is not the way to go about this.
There's
at
also
all.
so many people that are like into it, that have shared it, that have reached out and said, what you guys are doing is, I totally see it. And it's really like, and they've also been like, maybe you could try this, or maybe you could do whatever. And we're very always self-effacing. We're always very humble about it. We want to be as like, as humble as we can, because like, I'm not going to be like, well, these people said that we're making a real big impact. We're just trying to make some little kind of impact and little kind of change to help guys in general be better, and better for people all over the world. Like, we're just trying to have, even in small communities, even if we make an impact on one person, which we already have, it's a big win, and we're really grateful and really happy about that. And the people that have supported us and have reached out and engaged and commented, it's been really, really great. But of course that's going to come.
But the point, what I was saying is that like we will react to the haters too.
100%.
But what I found the best way to do it is just kind of troll them back. And not in a way.
The troll is funny because the troll a lot of the time is aware that they're being a troll. And if you kind of go back and forth with them, it winds up being like a funny, like, haha, we had a little laugh there. There are people that are actually
we have
really
one guy
upset.
that we've had like a back and forth where he's like shit on us, to the point we've actually messaged him and been like, hey man, you keep shitting on us, you're just helping the algorithm. And he was like, happy to help. That was his response.
Yeah.
Which is like, he's like kind of tongue-in-cheeky, but then he also comes on and like says shitty things. He checks in every once in a while.
Yeah, and we're just sort of like, we just like call him by his username, and we just sort of like, we're just like, shout out you, man. Like, we're on that grind, bro. Hashtag you. Like, and he's just like, I thought this was, it's like, he made like a comment about like, we put out something on Pride, and we were like shouting out like all of our amazing friends in the LGBTQ community.
He goes, I knew you guys were gay.
You guys were gay. I was like, bro, this is such a bad look for you, man. Like, stop. It's embarrassing.
Yeah,
for
he
you.
was like, what do you mean? I was just saying that you guys were. He's like, no, bro.
We're like, no, you were saying
derogatory.
You're being homophobic.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're doing. Like, and it's fun. It's just, in general, it's funny when you have haters like that, because you have to be willing to, because even a lot of people probably watching this right now are like, oh, well, why are you even fucking giving it the time of day? And you're not wrong. You're not wrong. There is that balance of that as well. But there also is like not being afraid, especially in an early stage of kind of what we're doing and the consistency of what we're putting out and learning how this works and getting a lot of comments and getting a lot of people. There's like, we want to kind of engage with that. We want to feel how that is and work on that and balance it.
The bigger thing here is exactly what you're saying. It's like there's a balance between sticking up for yourself and like letting things slide off your back.
Right.
Engaging with people who have constructive criticism or have an actual critique or have questions versus people who are just like shitting on you. And it's interesting because it's really a the 2000s, since the age of social media, for the past 15-ish years. This is it's kind of a new frontier even still, and so like this is our first time really having some like shitty people saying shitty things, along with all the good and the constructive. So like I think the reason we're bringing it up is like how we've navigated it,
right?
And what we've gleaned and what we've taken away from it, because at the end of the day, we are trying to do a positive thing, and we have to be careful with engaging with it too much,
Because then we become part of the toxicity that they brought to the table in the first place.
We don't want to like shit all over people because that's not our mission. You know, like we don't want to like beat people down. But then there's also a fine balance of like not being a punching bag. You know,
right.
like we're still grown ass men that you can say so many things before someone's going to react to be like, okay, this drawing the line, enough.
Yeah.
What you're saying is shitty and stop this. This is stupid. And that's essentially when people have gotten too aggro with us. We had one recently.
We did.
This guy was. We posted this simple video and about.
It's funny that this one got the rise because it literally. I mean, it was obvious that he just wanted to.
We won't name names, but it was on. We made a joke about 3-in-1 shampoo.
Yeah.
And this guy came on and was upset about us because we were talking down to people in college.
I basically was like, when we were in college, we were using 3-in-1 shampoo, but like it's time to grow up and throw that out and get yourself a nice bar of soap and like something a little bit better than synthetic, stuff. And he said, "What's to say that college kids aren't grown men?"
Yeah,
it means men think that guys just think that like getting money and is
being successful and having fake relationships
that you're a grown man. Yeah. But like that it means when you have responsibility and when you're like a good person, that was to make you a good man. And I'm like, that's all great, and I agree. And what does it have to do with 3-in-1 shampoo? My guy? Why are you going?
Like, okay, we tried to be like cordial about it.
Yeah.
At first we were like, okay, here are your points, but also like it's just a funny bit. Like that's not what.
Like we can talk about this as a separate thing, but why is it coming up? Of this video.
And then he got more defensive and then started calling names and we were like, and then we had to shut it down. And I was like, bro, this is stupid. Like you are feeling away. We call him out and we're like, this is done. I told him, I said, find a real thing to stand. You know, like get on something like go support Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. Do anything but what you're doing right now.
Like your college, all of your college peers are getting drunk and trying to get laid. Relax, bro.
Yeah.
He was saying that this is going to be the toughest time of his life. And it's like, okay, that may be valid because up until this point, it probably will be the toughest thing you have to deal with.
Right.
But to the narrow-minded, the short-sightedness.
We don't know if financially he might be for college.
Short, and it could
might be really, really hard for him, and that is fine. But
that's valid.
You could just talk about how that is a hard thing in your life, and then have people talk to you about it and support this.
Yes.
He was like, I bet your podcast is only about greed and pussy. I was like, it's funny you say that because it's actually about the opposite of that.
Yeah.
And if you looked at any of the other content, maybe some of it'll help you. Maybe some of it could kind of make you,
you could just like decipher
question the mind or decide, or like work on your mindset. You can reach out. We always are asking, please reach out, talk to us, like engage in a conversation. Like you could just be like, hey, I'm dealing with this thing. It's whatever. It's like, obviously you're going through something.
No.
Because all this is coming from is insecurity and difficulty and pain and
it was a weird dichotomy of trying to be like, we are trying to be positive and we're trying to big up guys. And like this guy obviously probably going through something, but then he also was like calling us douchebags. And it's like, okay, like at some point, like.
At some point I have to go, hey man, isn't the douchebag the guy that comes on and starts mouthing off on a simple little bit video about shampoo? I'm sorry, but like at a certain point, you kind of have to call it for what it is. Because we tried to do the modern dude thing,
Yeah, and like at some point, and like there is like, well, just disengage and don't talk at all. It's like, well, but we also are like, helps the algorithm.
That's fucked up.
No, but seriously, like, don't be that guy that is just being a dick online. Like, if you don't have the old adage, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
Oh, because like, there's so much negativity, so much hate out there. Like, we're literally just trying to shed some positivity.
We really are.
But like, I have a tipping point. I'm not gonna just like back down and be a punching bag.
Yeah. It's also easy. The biggest thing about social media in general and about all of this, a great point is that it has to come from actual pain and insecurity and issues that they have internally that are going on, because it's really easy to express those things behind a keyboard.
Yeah.
Hidden away where nobody can see you.
Mama's
because I guarantee
basement.
you that guy would not say that to our face.
Of course not.
But he will on the keyboard behind, because he's got pain and issues. So a way for him to do it is to see two guys and he doesn't like the way that they look or the way that they're saying something and wants to relate it to some other thing that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, because he's needing to get through his emotions. He's needing to shred it, which we try to understand. But at a certain point, you can't just do that and be an asshole.
We went back and forth with this guy for a while trying to be nice and be like, okay, we see your point, but like that's not what we're saying. It was literally just a lighthearted comment.
Yeah.
And it just kept going. And we're like, bro, you're on one. You're on one.
Yeah.
So the hate's gonna come from all angles. We've gotten it on TikTok. We've gotten it on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
I think we even got one on YouTube. There was just like, this is oversaturated market, is what the guy said.
Cool, dude. I'd love to see your podcast.
Well, it's not even that. It's like, this isn't a saturated market. There could never be enough saturation on guys trying to hold other guys accountable.
Even if it is a saturated market, it doesn't fucking matter. We're not doing it because, like, we want to do this and we want it to be successful. And of course we want to garner some success and maybe, some things like that, of course. But like,
it's what you do for anything.
Regardless of what anybody else is going to think, we're trying to do this for the right reasons, because we think it means something. We think it's impactful.
Yeah.
We think it could help. And anybody that sees it and is going to look at us and be like, no, they're fucking not. They're only doing it because they think they're going to.
Self-gains.
Like, that's fine. You're going to think that, but we don't give a shit, because we know why we're doing it and who we are and what our lives are. So like, even if you're saying that and you're like, there's no way, it's like, it doesn't really matter, because if we cared about what you said, we wouldn't even be able to get the first fucking episode off the ground.
Oh yeah, we would have been way too terrified from the get-go.
And that's the bigger arcing thing about haters. When somebody tries to shit on something that you're doing, they try to, make it seem like what you're doing is impossible, what you're doing is like lame, what you're doing is stupid. Like, the energy that it takes. And this is another person that we wanted to bring up. My man Gary V, who is just the dude when it comes to that a very modern dude, in fact, when it comes to outlook and it comes to positivity and it comes to focusing on you and being driven and trying to stay focused and being good.
He's a self-help guy.
He's a self-help guy. He's an amazing entrepreneur, Greg. I'm sure a lot of people that are watching this know who he is, but if you're not, look up Gary Vaynerchuk. He's absolutely amazing. He says, really think about the energy that it takes, the wasted energy that it takes for somebody to get on and type a shitty comment on your thing where you're trying to like do something for yourself or do something for others or make a video, make content. You're trying to better yourself. Like, the energy it takes for somebody to get on there and like type out something to shit on you. I mean, that's just their problem. Yeah. That's their insecurity.
It's their toxic mentality that like is just so unhealthy, and it's exactly what we're trying to combat with what we're doing here. It's like, and most of the time it's dudes.
Most of the time it's always dudes.
Most of the time, no, it's just always dudes.
It's just always dudes.
I can't think of the last time I saw a handle that remotely resembled a female that was like,
fuck you guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that again, like, it just takes, that can only come from the fact that they are upset about their lives. It doesn't even have anything to do with us.
I want to retract that, actually. I know there's female bullying, but like in our limited scope, it's all guys.
I mean, we pretty much only seen guys.
There's definitely female bullying out there for sure, and chicks being shitty about stuff.
But being the Dude podcast, that's just what we've seen.
But I would say probably more often than not, it's going to be a guy.
Well, it's a bunch of macho bullshit. It's
testosterone-driven crap. Yeah.
And it's like, again, it has everything to do with them and their own insecurities and their own issues, because maybe they wanted to do a podcast and they haven't been able to because, one, they are too fucking lazy and haven't done it, or two, they don't think that they don't even want to begin because they're scared to fail. So other people doing it are like, well, you guys are lame. This can't be good because, this is an oversaturated market. There's all these problems. It's like, no, that's what you think about you. That's not the reality for other people. That's not the reality for us.
No.
And it's sad. And what it really comes down to is you can't because you'll never even get started.
Yeah.
So you can't let that kind of stuff bother you. And I understand why it can. I mean, there's famous people that have had to, dude, I saw that. I think this is true. Pete Davidson is like, he's broken up with Kim Kardashian now. And
I didn't know actually.
But to be fair, I read a little thing about it, and apparently it's because they were just so busy they had no time to see each other. It was like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And of course, I made the same joke. I was like, well, yeah, I mean, was that going to last long? But then I read, and it's like, it seemed like they actually had a really great relationship, but they just had no time together, and he was always off somewhere, and she was filming the Kardashians, and he's doing a movie, and they literally had no time. And he said it was a very amicable breakup. He only wishes the best for her. She said the same thing. He's in like some kind of trauma therapy now or something like that because of all the insane online bullying and a lot of the shit from Kanye.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's like fucked up about all because he's like, just dating somebody, trying to live my life. And Kanye West, in the last 4 songs he's put out, says he wants to roll up and kill me. That would probably kind of fuck me up too. So
the thing is that
hard.
there's a reality because Kanye is so unhinged that he has the kind of power and the kind of persuasion to actually pull that off if he wanted to.
If he wanted to,
and that's fucked. And the fact that you have that kind of power and you don't know it, that like you have made someone feel that terrified or that's just shitty. That's such bad energy.
And again, it really doesn't have anything. It has to do with Kanyes Demons of like whatever it was with him and Kim, like it could have been
Kanye's
anybody, and he'd be like,
demons.
just replace the name Pete Davidson with literally anybody else that dates her, and it would have been the exact same thing. It's not even about Pete Davidson. It's about his own fucking problems and his own fucking issues.
Because he heard that Pete Davidson got a huge dong and is probably slaying that, and he's really insecure about it.
And Pete Davidson, like, you know what I mean? Like, it has everything to do with his own problems. And that is something you always have to remember when a hater's being a fucking hater. It has nothing to do with you.
No.
It has everything to do with them. Their own fucking insecurities, their own fucking problems.
Yeah.
Like, don't be that person. If you're upset, if you see something and you don't like it, unless, like, this podcast was about, like...
But if we were spewing venom and hate, then we're welcoming that anyway.
Exactly.
Like,
we are shit for that.
If there's podcasts out there talking shit about people, that is a breeding ground for hate. Hate away, because those people...
Those people suck.
Those people suck, and those people are wanting that fire. They want to go at you, which is, like, there are some, like... in like playful ways, there are some podcasts and shit that like
to lean into that.
Absolutely, there is a market for that, and if those people are putting themselves out there in that way, they know it's coming.
Oh yeah,
and they're like, bring it on.
Right.
And if you have that mentality, that's a different thing, and that is a whole different level of, but it's almost like goofy toxicity,
Right. It's still part of the entertainment business. I
steer clear of that mostly just because
it's not who we are either. It's just not.
I would rather do something else with my life, than go into chat rooms and shit on people and have back and forth.
Yeah, if we are gonna make it in some way, I would rather it be because we're doing something positive like this.
Yeah.
Than we made it because we're known for saying that really outlandish fucking thing online and it blowing up because I said something fucking fucked up or something or whatever.
No, because that's also not our mission, Like,
right, exactly.
And like I said before, the only way that I'm going to go back and forth with you is when you come for me for no fucking reason,
Right.
And I'm going to defend myself and I'm going to be like, yo.
Yeah, we're not just gonna lay down and be like, well, you're right, we suck, or like whatever, like.
Yeah, that's what we would say.
Because we don't, and fuck
man.
you. So like, that is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, because we don't, and fuck you.
No, it's like it's okay to stand up for yourself, is what we're saying.
Absolutely.
But our mission is very much a positive one, and one that we are trying to cultivate.
Yeah. Being
better as guys and not being the venomous spewers of snake
of evil
death. I don't know what's happening.
The venomous spewers of evil.
No. So I think it's really a bullying conversation in a lot of ways. That like
it is bullying, but it's also again, like, I think what's the do to do, like it can be obvious, like with the Pete Davis point. The point I was making is it's still really hard when you see comments like that, when you see things. Trust me, we're not saying this because we're like, we've seen it and we've been like not affected by it at all. Of course it will.
Which is why we engage to try and get some clarity.
Yeah.
With this, especially with this one kid, but then he was on his own thing, and he wanted to say his own thing. And at the end of the day, I was like, okay, we're done. That's not what we were doing. You made it about what you wanted it to be. That's not what we are doing.
Yeah, it's
take your argument.
I was just like, anything to do with us.
Take your argument somewhere else. Find a better cause, bro.
And on the modern dude, if you have problems like that, it seemed like he was talking a lot of shit about like his surroundings and the people that like every guy I know is just trying to do this, and he's talking about money and he's talking about chicks, and that's not that's all fake and whatever. And what you guys are doing, you're trying to better each other, but it's all fake. Because if it's not my girlfriend or my family, you're competition. And it's like, okay, here's the real reality. You've got shit that is deep, that hurts. You have dealt with some things that you don't want to talk about. He even said at one point, he was like, y'all don't understand, and even if I try to explain, you should try to explain.
Yeah.
You should be coming at this, and you should be talking to someone, because we want to be an open forum for guys who feel like they don't have anybody to talk to. We want to be those people that you can talk to, because we'll talk to you about it. But we aren't the bad guy.
Yeah.
We're trying, like, if he came to us and was like, hey, you guys say this, that, and the other, and I feel this way about things, and what's your advice or what's your take? Like, we'll just talk to you. But if you come with this like angry mentality or this like pissed off and insecure mentality, like, I get it's hard, and we still tried. Like, we still tried to work around it.
There's still even things we probably could have said to like try and get through to this kid a little bit better. We probably could have done a few things better. But at the end of the day, you also have to have a point where you'd be like, all right, I'm done with this.
Right.
Right. And at some point we were just done with it.
Yeah.
But like, you live and you learn. We will engage with you. We will always engage with you. I think every comment that has ever been put on one of our socials, we have at least been like, awesome. Yes. Thank you. I totally get it. Or something much more than that,
Right.
Because like, we are trying to build something, and we want to engage with you. We want to have positive conversation. We want to have a fruitful conversation. It doesn't always have to be positive. It can be stark reality stuff too. But if you're coming for us, that's different, because that's not, there's no conversation there. This is opinions being thrown.
Yeah.
And no one's listening. If you're not listening, then I'm not going to give you the time of day.
Yeah. It's not productive.
Then you're just being a troll. You're being a hater.
You're being a hater, man. And you don't want to be a hater. People don't like haters.
No. People don't like negative bullshit, man. People are attractive to positive people at the end of the day.
It's a great mindset, and it's a great way to be, and it's infectious to people.
We just did a podcast on positivity.
Yeah.
Go watch that one, because it's so easy to slip into being negative. It's so easy to have that quick, funny quip that's a slight.
Yeah.
I've struggled with that for fucking so long.
I have too. We're always going to be the first ones to say we've done it too.
Which in the right settings, it's fine. Back and forth, or iron sharpens iron. I love that kind of humor, but it's got to be in like the right vibe, the right chat room, the right friend group. You don't just go out there just saying shitty things to people that you don't know, hiding behind a keyboard. That is some lame ass shit.
It's lame, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think just remember, like, the whole point here is that, like, again, I've said it a lot, but it's really important. It's not I've said it a lot. It's not about you. It's about them. Focus on what you want to do, what's making you happy, and what is fulfilling you, and what is making your people around you happy. Focus on your goals, and don't let, Halo player 442069 have any impact on what you're doing with your fucking life.
Dude, I'm going to make that handle right now.
Because the truth is, and not to shit on him, but Halo player 442069 is probably just still playing Halo.
Oof.
I love Halo, though.
I do love Halo.
Yeah, it's fun. I actually would go play Halo right now.
Transition, so we can get the fuck out of here and go play some Halo.
Hope you've enjoyed what you've listened to today. I think this one will really garner some comments. So if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment. Let us know how you feel, how you deal with haters. And if you are a hater, don't leave a comment.
First person to say lame gets a follow back.
Now it's just going to be people
Yeah,
saying
I
lame
know.
just over and over.
What have I done?
Whatever. Helps the algorithm, remember.
Boing.
Hit subscribe, notifications.
Please. Actually, leave a comment.
Check us out on Instagram, on TikTok, at The Modern Dude. Our reels are popping. The TikTok's popping. We want to engage more. We want to talk more. And we appreciate you guys.
Facebook's dropping.
Yeah, just let Facebook out completely. Actually, this is an important one. Like we've been talking about these last couple episodes. This is definitely an important one to mention. Our sort of like community group that we have on Facebook called The Modern Dude Talks. It's a place where you can go. It's a safe space to talk about issues that you're dealing with as a guy. We're there to talk. We're there to like go back and forth with you.
Haters not wanted.
Haters not wanted. Now, if you got something you need to say, if you got something you want to get off your chest, you want to talk, you need somebody to talk to, we're there, baby. So hit us up.
Hit it on any of those. We'll check. Like I said, I shit you not. There's not been a single comment that I have not at least liked or Grayson at least liked or commented on. I think
100%.
Almost everyone we've commented on.
Hundo P.
Yeah.
So with that being said, don't forget.
Oh!
To do your due diligence.
Bye now.
Peace out.